Miami Community's Windshield Survey and Analysis. Introduction of Community. The Windshield Survey took place in Miami, Florida. This particular community is vibrant and rather dynamic in comparison to other communities in the area. Overall, the community can be described as conscious and active. Windshield Survey. Vitality. There are numerous people visible in the community. They are socializing, and the majority of them simply enjoy their day. The age range of the people who live in this community is from 18 to 65 approximately. The most predominant age is high school students. The most common race is Caucasian. The general appearance of the people living in the area is appropriate. These individuals look healthy, and there are not a lot of people with disabilities. Only one person was seen using a walker, and another one walked on crutches. These people live near the beach and enjoy evening walks. It is also important to mention that the majority of people living in the community are well-dressed, and no critical deviations were observed in terms of thinness or obesity. One of the most distinctive traits of the Miami, Florida community is that it is always full of tourists. No persons under the influence of alcohol were observed during the survey. Several pregnant women, less than 10, were identified in addition to numerous young mothers strolling with their children. Indicators of social and economic conditions. The general condition of the homes can be characterized as appropriate. These are multifamily structures that have already undergone the process of urban renewal. Nonetheless, several homes in the area relate to public housing and do not look as good as the multifamily structures described above. There are numerous cars on the streets of this community. Tourists are using bus stops to get on the buses. The stops are equipped with benches and provide adequate shade. Transportation to healthcare resources is also available. In Miami, Florida, job opportunities are nearly limitless as there are different employment options. Nonetheless, several, less than 10, unemployed, homeless, people were spotted on the streets. No groups of men were identified during the survey. No farms or seasonal workers were spotted. No women hanging out along the streets were spotted, and a really small number of children were observed strolling through the streets during the daytime. No political campaign signs were seen. Health education in this community is transferred using advertisements and television. These methods are appropriate for the general population of the community. There are public schools available to the community. Health resources. Several hospitals were noticed during the survey. These hospitals are approximately equidistant from each other. The majority of clinics in the community are publicly available, and also there are a couple of family planning facilities. The area is also presented by several dentists' offices, specialists. A bit away from the center of the community, a rehabilitation center can be located. There's also a drug treatment center and a shelter for homeless people 2 miles away from it. The resources that are available within the area seem to be sufficient and helpful in terms of addressing any of the problems that transpire in the community. Environmental conditions related to health. There are no visible water or ground pollutants as the community supports green incentives. One of the major problems is an increased number of cars and carbon dioxide emissions. The majority of housing options are in line with sanitary requirements and are not either overcrowded or dirty. The roads are nearly perfect, with almost no signs of potholes. Sidewalks are everywhere, and traffic lights intended to manage traffic efficiently are also in place. Overall, the roads can be described as not hazardous. It is important to mention that there are recreational facilities and handicapped access to almost every facility in the area. There are plentiful restaurants in the area, but the food is also sold on the streets. Numerous people eating in public areas were spotted. Trash cans and public restrooms are available. A huge number of mosquitoes were spotted in parks and other green zones. No stray animals were identified in the community. Social functioning. The majority of families in the neighborhoods are complete, and both parents care for their children. Some children live with their parents and grandparents. In general, the atmosphere in the neighborhood and the community can be characterized as friendly as neighbors tend to help each other and communicate courteously. The neighborhood watch is in place, but no community meetings are held to discuss the living conditions. There are several churches in the area. No drug abuse or adolescent pregnancy was spotted in the community, but juvenile delinquency may be in place. Attitude toward healthcare. The community does not prefer alternative medicine to conventional healthcare, so there are no herbal medicine shops in the area. Health resources are utilized efficiently, and the majority of healthcare facilities employ preventive care in their practice. Unfortunately, no efforts to expand the neighborhood's health initiatives were identified. Vulnerable population. In terms of the current Windshield survey, old and disabled people can be defined as vulnerable populations. These two particular groups of people are exposed to the lack of healthcare resources intended to help them and preserve their health. The number of ramps and stairs with handrails is insufficient. Conclusion. The community can be characterized as healthy and friendly. The majority of families are complete. One of the potential problems with the vulnerable population may be a relatively high fall occurrence rate among those individuals. It may be necessary to install more handrails and revise the location of ramps so that disabled individuals would have access to any given facility.